If you're tired of your 9 to 5 or you're a busy professional where you're looking for a way to quit your job eventually, I'm here to share some good news for you. There's a way where you can actually build a side hustle by using a bit of time every day, at most 2 hours a day. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact blueprint that can explain how this will work for you and eventually help you to quit your job or your 9 to 5. So, what exactly is this blueprint about? Now, you may have heard of the term or concept called digital mastery. Digital mastery essentially is where you learn the skills to develop your brand online and use a concept called attraction marketing. Now, this is where essentially you get other people to follow you about information that you may be providing to them that is useful to them. So let's just take an example. Let's just say you are a person who is a business professional who's very busy and is looking at a way to obviously make some additional money using online systems or platforms. You could be that person that really teaches them the skill set to basically learn how to build a brand and obviously build something that is referred to as digital mastery. So, by doing that, what you can do is create a system that essentially allows you to firstly attract the right types of people that would be interested in your content and obviously ensure that whatever it is that you're promoting, whether it's your own product or your own service, then you'll be able to get the right people buying from you. And through that process, you'll be able to start creating some additional money up until the point where you can actually quit your 9 to 5 or whatever job it is that you're working on. But before going into that, if you want some more information about a platform that can really help you, look through the comments where I've actually provided a link where you can get an exact blueprint for this and how it can work for you in only 2 hours a day. Now, going back to the actual framework that can help you to achieve this in terms of building a side hustle, even for someone that doesn't have a lot of experience, perhaps does not have a lot of tech skills, and maybe also doesn't have a product or a service, but really wants to find a way to create something that is automated and allows them to basically work on a business that works for them. So, the first step essentially is making sure that you identify the right type of niche. Now, a little earlier, I spoke about how you could find something that is related to making money online. Or let's just say you are a person that is a professional trainer where you want to help people to learn the right types of exercises. That itself is a niche. So it's very important for you to identify the right type of niche that you're going to be focusing on, because if you don't have the right type of niche, it's going to be very difficult for you to essentially know what you're going to focus on speaking about. And when I say speaking about, really creating content that is going to be attracting the specific type of person interested in that product or service. The good thing is that with a digital mastery approach, you can do it in two ways. One is essentially where you can create content where you're showing yourself through video, or the other is, which a lot of people tend to also want to do, is create faceless content. So, what that essentially means is that you're not really putting yourself on video itself, but you are using certain tools like AI tools that can help you build content that doesn't show your face. So, what you need to then do as the next step is choose a right channel or medium where you're going to show this content. Now, in the social media space, there's obviously a lot of popular channels with a lot of people will know. So, such as YouTube, where I'm currently on, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and other such related kind of social media platforms. But the idea is that you want to obviously master one particular channel in terms of producing content where you're attracting the right type of consumer. And once you master a specific channel, then you can move on to another channel. What that essentially does is that it allows you to create a sort of web where you have different areas where people can connect with you as a particular brand through the digital mastery process that I spoke about. So by doing that, you're establishing not only your own brand, but you're also building skill sets where you know how to market effectively without doing a lot of work in the sense of building something that is very intense or technical and easy to use. So now that brings me to the next step is you need a couple of things which are very simple to set up. One is essentially a website. So this is where the website can advertise your product or your service. And in some cases online, you can find ways to create this automatically without really being a web tech person or someone who's very technical. There's a lot of different services that are available. But What you essentially want is to be able to build a following where people can subscribe to something where they get it for free. So, like I mentioned, I'm giving you a free blueprint. That is something where you obviously then join my email list. And as soon as you join my email list, there will be a couple of emails that will be sent out to you automatically. So, this is where the automation aspect comes in because you will not have the kind of time, especially being a business professional, where you're very busy to actually start sending out emails every day. So, what you want to do is create a system whereby they visit the website, they enter their email address because they're interested in a particular product or service that they're really attracted to, which can help them resolve a pain point. And then once they receive whatever free offering it is that you're giving to them, they can then go on to get some information about the actual product or service which will address their pain point. And then eventually they'll end up maybe buying from you. So, what you're essentially doing is creating a three-step process where there's a website, which is the first point. There's an email list building process whereby you're building a list of interested people or subscribers. And as that goes on, essentially everyone is following up on emails that they're receiving, and they may be reviewing your product or service even further because there are going to be times where they may not immediately buy your product or service. And all you have to really do is on a daily basis is to drive basically the traffic. So what we mean by that is getting the people, the right people to view your offer. And how you do that essentially is by learning the skills building on the various channels that I mentioned. So let's just say you're a person that really wants to just do short videos where you're speaking about specific aspects around your product or service, which addresses a particular pain point, but you also want to be authentic in that content. You could use probably a platform like TikTok. And my blueprint that I share with you below, if you go back again in the comments where you can get access to it, actually gives you access to a platform where you can learn exactly how to build, firstly, the automated system that I've spoken about, but also how you can build up your brand using the different mediums. So if you're someone that is really interested in terms of building something on TikTok where they're offering a product or service, that's a channel where you can learn more about how you can use that more effectively. And this essentially only requires you to produce videos where you spend at most 1 hour to 2 hours a day. And it's very easy to produce short videos where it really doesn't have to be complicated. Hence, coming back to the point about not being too technically experienced as a person, but essentially ensuring that you can still create something which really speaks to you as a brand. And most recently, I created a video that you can check out here, which really speaks about how you can start building a similar type of business on YouTube where you can make $500 a day or more. And if you follow that exact step by step process in that video, you should still be able to build a side hustle using the techniques that have been explained.